We're on.
Okay. Welcome. Today is January, what did they say?
It's on your agenda. 14.
January 14th. This is the Waterboro Budget Committee meeting. Today we'll be talking with the Department of Public Works. And we're gonna, well, everybody should introduce themselves. I'm Jim Southworth.
Thomas Lee.
John Burrows.
Tim Neal.
Julie Giles.
David Benton, Director of Public Works.
Hi, Izzy Higgins.
And Gary Lamb.
Okay. And with that, we'll open it up to...
Okay.
We'll be starting on page 15, the code number 85, Public Works. And since the steering committee is coming in at 6 o'clock, I didn't schedule anything else for this. We thought that transfer station would come in, but I really didn't think we could get both of those done in an hour and a half. So if there's lots of extra time left, there's plenty that I can do in individual parts of the budget beforehand. But for right now, let's see if we can get through Public Works. And so I'm going to ask David to start off, and pretty much from line 418 down, he can explain the different things he's asking for.
Okay. Line 14, 418, personal services. That is a salary for myself, for Department of Public Works, number 1, which is Tony Blackburn, number 2 is Jason Champion, and number 3 is a new position that we'd like to, if we had monies for part-time for this year, and we'd like to make that full-time next year. And we have plus a position for Parks and Rec laborer mowing and mowing.
And for the new DPW3, we took out $5,000 in driver money that we had, part-time driver money, and we took out $30,000 for part-time labor that we never really filled that position.
Yep.
So that's why you see DPW3 salary is 34, but the whole line only went up 20 because we were taking some of those other expenses out.
The overtime is the same as it was last year. Health insurance is the same. Supplies, we now have, we have a,
Let's do travel, David, line 424.
oh yeah, the travel is, sorry. The travel for the Director of Public Works, that would be, that'll probably be less money, but we decided to go with the same as last year. It would be less money because there is a town pickup now that I'm using in the wintertime. And so that's taking quite a bit of money away from what we had budgeted.
We hope that that's down, I don't know, it'd be nice if that was down somewhere between $7,000 and $8,000, because
Yeah.
you'll have that pickup for essentially what, 4 months?
Yeah, but haven't used it full time for 4 months. I've only used it since it started snowing.
Okay.
Before that, it was used by the grounds people for mowing the grass and for the janitorial people to use for trash and for code enforcement. If he had to go someplace where his police cruiser wasn't going to be able to get into, then he would take the pickup. And that will continue when spring starts. It will go back to that same estimate.
It'll essentially be based here,
Yes.
more than it is now and available for
Yes.
all 4 parties, really.
Well, it's available for them now. If we don't have any storms going on or no cleanup, then all they have to do is give me a call and I make it available for them now.
Line 426, new equipment.
426, yeah, new tools. We did some work on the old plow truck, and we replaced quite a few of the shop tools, and we will continue to do that because the old plow truck is now 7 years old, going on 8 years old. We probably in another 2 years will have to replace it, but it is, it's a 1-ton, it's a diesel. We've had some issues with it this winter, and and we're always buying new tools. It seems that everything you do today have to have a special tool, and we do as many of our own repairs as we can. We have welders, we have torches, we have all the tools that we can do for maintenance like that. When it comes to the technical, the electronic stuff, then we take it out.
What other pieces of equipment does staff work on in the garage?
We also work on the transfer station machine. We do some work on some of their bits and pieces. They have 2 machines over there.
By that you mean a loader backhoe and a skid steer?
Yeah, we have a loader, yes. And we also have a loader backhoe that belongs to the town. We have a mini excavator that's an 18,000-pound mini excavator that belongs to us. We have a dump truck, the pickup, and all the implements that go on those machines. We have a power head for doing trimming of trees with the excavator. We have a broom, snow pushers, snow plows.
What does the town vehicles plow?
The town vehicles plow this parking lot, the Funigi end of the building parking lot, the fire station, both fire stations, the central and the South Waterboro. We do the library, we do the parking ride, we do the transfer station, all of the transfer station. And if there's any emergencies, we go out with a rescue of fire trucks and sand or plow roads, that private roads. We go out and take care of those if they can't get in.
And how long does it take to plow the transfer station? So you got a
Depends
6
on
inch?
the amount of snow. It can go from 3 to 8 hours, depending on how long the storm lasts and so on. When there are bigger snowstorms, we have pushers for both machines. For the transfer station machine and our machine are identical in the model, but they're a few years newer. And it usually will take, one person can do it in the storms that we've had this year. One person has been able to do what we've gone in with the pickup truck or the 1-ton to help, but a bigger storm, if we have 6 to 10 or 12 inches, you have to have both machines with both pushers and sometimes the 1-ton as well.
I'm gonna keep bugging you, because remember, we've got 2 new members on the budget committee here.
Yeah.
Just gonna pepper you for details
That's
here.
okay.
Culverts line 428, that's been pretty consistent for quite a while.
That's been a number that has stayed the same for quite a while. We use those culverts for doing driveway entrances in the town of Waterboro. When somebody applies for a driveway entrance, we install the first culvert, and after that, it's the owner's responsibility. We do the first one so that the first one is done to what we have for standards for depth and coverage on the pipe, and the way it should be installed, so.
But they pay for the first one.
They pay for the pipe, yeah,
Right.
and we install.
So the culverts, so the 14,000 is for culverts for new,
No, not all of it.
Okay.
There is some of it that we use in other projects
sure,
that we'll touch on
okay,
as we go on. because we do some drainage.
Mhm.
If the job is big enough, we hire, we get prices from contractors and have them do the hands-on, and we supply the materials. We
Okay.
supply the culvert and the stone, the sand, all the materials for doing the job. And they supply the personnel and the machinery. Our small machine is good for doing driveway culverts or doing ditching, but if we had to put 1,000 feet of pipe in, it would be quite a challenge. Those pipes are 20 feet long, and he only has 14 or 15 feet of reach, so it's difficult to dig a trench, and if it's any kind of unstable material, then we have a problem because we couldn't move a box. We'd have to use a trench box, and can't do it with that machine. Eventually, I don't know if it'll be in my time or in your time, but eventually we'll have a bigger machine. We're gonna have to. Where are we?
429 paving, hot top.
Yes, okay. The paving, I have the footage on the roads and the roads that I would like to do, but I'll be right up front with you. Between now and July 1st, the pavement cost is going to change so many times that these numbers that I could give you for footage might not be feasible. And we might not be able to do all of what I'm asking for here. These are things that really need to get done. And so those are my number one priority. And hopefully by July 1st, liquid pavement won't be any higher than what it is now or a month from now, but it can change. It can change so quickly that when they give you a price, when we put out prices a year ago for our paving, those pavement prices are only good for 30 days because it changes all the time. The cost of the liquid changes, and that makes a difference. So with that in mind, the Weber Road, for instance, is 1.8 miles long. We might only be able to do half of that rather than the whole thing in order to do, and the Hamilton Road is 1.2 miles long. Star Hill is 1.5. Ospey Hill Dirt is 3,000 feet, which is just a little over half a mile. And Middle Road is 4.3, and we wanted to do a third of that this year, which is 1.5, 1.4 mile. If the cost of hot top is higher than what we had planned on, then the money we'll have to pick and choose which ones we do. We don't always get to finish all the projects that we would like to do.
Didn't we already approve Ospey Hill Road?
Pardon?
Didn't we already approve Ospey Hill Road last year?
No, it was
We
taken
took it
out.
out, we talked about it. The dirt.
We talked about it, and I pushed it hard, but I kind of understand if I could take everybody in town for a ride over that road to watch the traffic when there are things going on at the high school, football games, graduation, you can go right down the line, and that road becomes a major traffic road after anything goes on. The other morning, we had the accident down here on 202. That was the way we sent all the traffic we had to. We couldn't let them go out Straw Mill Brook because the accident was right there, and the state police wouldn't allow it. And sadly enough, the road was awful. It was awful the day of the accident. The next day I went over with a grader. We rented Foglio's grader and we hauled gravel over there, and I took out the potholes, and it'll be good until the frost is out, and then there'll be, well, you know, we're spending a lot of money on maintenance on that road, and if we could pave it, it would balance that cost off very quickly, very quickly. And it is a great road to get people away from the school. rather than going out to 202 and becoming part of the congestion that there is out there.
The gravel base is okay, though, be right?
Oh, yeah.
Once you smooth it out.
We've been putting gravel on that road, and we've worked on ditching it, and there are a few more things we've got to change in grades, but it's pretty close to being ready to take on top.
Is that our first priority? If you had to prioritize,
If I had to prioritize, the Weber Road is definitely first.
okay,
Hamilton Road, I would put as last, because of the amount of traffic. Star Hill Road, I would put that third, I would put Ospey Hill second, and Middle Road would be fourth, and that's a close one between Star Hill and Middle Road. Middle Road has a great deal more traffic, but Star Hill, we are losing Star Hill Road so fast, because it's an old road, it's narrow.
It's tough when they're two V, I live up there, it's tough.
Yeah.
If there's two pickup trucks, you gotta stop.
Oh, I know.
And the plows are taking quite a bit out of it so far this year.
Yep, I agree.
But I understand also, you know, it's of interest to the handful of houses that are up there, so I understand
Yeah.
that.
But, and you take the Middle Road is another one of our very busy roads in town, and that road is in disrepair in a lot of places also. Part of our culvert would be going to Middle Road, so to put in some more drainage up there. We did this 2 sections last year, and those have made quite a difference in how that road is on the north end. So that's a hot top in a nutshell. Like I said, I have not gotten prices yet. I have money left over from last year that's going to go to finish up the projects that we had on last year's budget, and I don't have a lot of money, but we're gonna try to do some more from that, and
Between now and June 30th.
say again,
Between now and June 30th.
yeah. But all of this that I'm talking about here would be next year. Salt and sand, number 430. We used up almost the full amount last year. We just need to increase, because every year we're on the verge of being over our budget. And we're gonna be that way again this year, even though I know our storms haven't been major storms, but they have just been the type of storm that uses a lot of product to make the roads safe. And we have a new contractor, and it's expensive. It really is.
Does our contractor have any way of measuring how much salt sand is put on the road?
We know by the tonnage that we put up each year, we know how many yards of salt sand that we mixed, and we know how many tons of salt that we have used so far. And we're going to be close to being over budget this year for sure. It's just, if everybody, now I do this to Gary all the time, but I'm gonna go back to 1970, when people didn't leave the house until the roads were plowed. And today they do, you know. Back in 1970, when I got out of the military, we didn't plow the roads until it was 6 or more inches. We did not even leave the yard with our plow truck. Today, it's 2 inches. And I've had them out every storm this so far at 1 inch, because the roads were so bad, they were so slippery. But a lot of that has to do with people need to go to work, they need to go here, there, and everywhere. And that's what packs the snow on the road. If the trucks don't get out in time, then it becomes ice packed, snow packed, and icy. So it really is a double-edged sword. Snow plowing is tough. And the amount of material we use is for one reason, and that's safety, and that's to make the roads safe. We try our best to stay within that budget, but it's tough, it really is.
Well, you can see several years ago under column G, that the town administrator thought that the year before was just an aberration, and I budgeted 134. And I'm not going to do that again, because I think we spent, that year we spent 50,000 more than I hoped we would spend. So 182 is, 190 for this coming year is not out of bounds.
We're 60% expended right now.
Say that again?
We're 60% expended right now.
I believe it. And I have another 1,000 tons all coming.
As far as the contractors go, I've been asked several times, has the town thought about getting their own plow trucks?
I can honestly tell you from, I have been in snow plowing for well over 40 years with two different contractors. One of them was 15 years right here in the town of Waterboro. And even during those other years that I was plowing someplace else, I spent a lot of time in Waterboro, and I just don't think that it's something that we're ready financially to take on, because you've got to remember that we would have to buy 5 plow trucks minimum. We would have to hire,
And with a plow, that's 200 or?
brand new ones would be over 200,000. We have a dump truck that we just bought, was 184,000.
140 without this.
140 with them, yeah. It was 140, and it would have been close to $200,000 with all the plow gear and sander.
So
And
that's
then you have to have a driver.
$1 million for 5 plow trucks.
Yeah.
Let's just keep tallying it up.
We do not have a repair facility that would handle that. We do not have a mechanic. Those two things would be another 500,000 plus.
It's a 6-bay garage,
So yeah, it would have to be a
heated
5 or 6 bay garage, which would be,
with a mechanic.
we just put 800,000 into a salt shed that wouldn't be big enough for all those trucks to be in there and maintained. And plow drivers and mechanics, fuel. I just think that we probably are, if we started putting money aside right now, 10 years from now, we might be able to go into our own plow. And that's, I haven't figured that out, but that's a guess on my part. But it's a very expensive operation, and I just don't see it being something that, I have talked to Standard, I've talked to Buxton, and they seem to have enough industry tax money coming in to have covered it. And they started out with used trucks, and they told me, if you do it, don't start out with used trucks. I mean, we can go to the state of Maine every year to their auction and buy some of their iron that they're auctioning off, and start repairing it, start getting it ready. That's what Foglio used, that's what the contractor used that we have today. And watching, I worked at Foglio's for 14 years, and they have 3 to 4 mechanics working every day, 5 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, to keep those old trucks on the road. It's a very expensive thing, very expensive. And I really don't think that we're ready for it in our, what we have for a base, taxes and so on.
It's a good question, and it's gonna happen eventually.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I hope not while I'm here, but
Most likely, we kind of gradually transition into it. But for the folks out at home and on Facebook, everything that David said has been discussed in selectmen's meetings and more. If people would just at least watch the tapes, they wouldn't be searching for answers out there, they'd have them. Thank you.
and I think we've discussed it for many years, actually.
At length, I think so, in public.
You know, $500,000 for a plow contractor is a lot of money. 63 miles that they plow.
65.
65, sorry, thank you. And that does not include, remember, the 50 miles that's in Lake Arrowhead, which we do have no responsibilities for whatsoever. They do all of that. They have a 5 or 6
They
big
have-
garage and 6
They
plow
have
trucks.
6 or 7 plow trucks, 2 graders, and they are looking for help. Every week there's ads in the paper for getting plow truck drivers and workers over there. And all of their roads, the majority of them, I'm gonna say 80% of their roads are dirt. So it's a little bit more of a challenge to them than it would be doing roads here, but it still was tough.
You know, we've got the land. The nice thing is we have the land down at the Public Works Garage, Transfer Station, gravel pit area. So that when that time comes, that garage can probably go down there. Be well sited, if you will.
Very, very expensive.
It will happen in time.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I'm gonna live that long,
Hopefully. 431, signs.
but, okay.
How come we go through so many signs, Mr. Benton? What happens to them on the roadside?
Thieves. It's tough, really, it is, because, and it's been like that forever and ever, because in 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I was an elected road commissioner here. And it's just a never-ending battle. I bet we have 16 or 17 right now that we're waiting for them to be delivered to put up. And these signs are very expensive, and it's expensive to go out there and replace the post, because most of the time, not most of the time, most of the time they just break the nuts and bolts off and steal the sign. But a lot of times they bend the post over and take the post too, so it's an expensive, it's very expensive. And they're not cheap.
What's it, just a street sign? My wife told, ours is gone now, the Star Hill Road one's gone, I didn't even notice it.
I didn't notice that, I was just.
My wife just told me yesterday, she said, yeah, the sign's gone at the end of the road, so. What's a street sign cost?
$30 a piece, aren't they?
What's that?
25, 30 bucks a piece?
No, it's more, it's over 45.
I would think it'd be close to 50, because it's just,
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
they're expensive.
We should put a vending machine up on Blueberry Road and just sell the bloody things. Those don't stay.
California Highway 420 is having a problem. They seem to lose a lot of 420 signs.
Oh.
So apparently they just moved to Highway 420 to Highway 419.9, trying to save a few signs.
Yeah, and stop signs, another sign that we lose a great deal of is, we have a load limit on 3 or 4 roads in town. The sign at this end of Roberts Ridge Road, we can't keep it there. We've replaced it 3 times in the past year and a half.
Is it legal to paint this information on the roadbed as opposed to sign?
It's legal to do that, but let me give you a very good example. When you come this way on the old Alfred Road, you come around that corner, it is painted in 3-foot letters, "Stay right." And I can't tell you how many times myself and our deputies in town have been sitting at that red light and have someone pull up beside them in the other lane to make a left turn.
Happened to me today.
I did it on my way to the interview for this job, because I looked up and I saw double lights, and I didn't look hard enough to.
And there's a big sign, there's a sign that says "Stay in right lane." It just, so, yeah, we can paint it on, we can paint street names on but that's.
I'm just talking about the speed limit, specifically speed limit or weight limit. But in fact, not even speed limit, just for weight limit on some of them.
That would be quite a few letters to have on there, because what you have to do is you have to put no 3-axle trucks, and no trucks over 36,000 pounds approximately.
Because that would take 100 yards to paint all.
Yeah, that would take a lot of paint. And striping, we haven't got there yet, but when we get to striping, you'll see that most of that, some of that is striping stop line, and all of the striping down at the public beach, and every one of our intersections has got a stop line and so on. And that's all very expensive.
Have you
If
thought
it
about,
has anything to do with paint or oils, it's expensive today. It's very expensive.
have you thought about putting up, hiding game cams around the signs that get stolen the most?
No, not really.
We could do that, but we have so many other things to do.
Yeah.
You know, they take the cameras.
Take the cameras too.
Yeah, where are we here, David?
Sign,
PPE, signs, if there's no other questions yet.
clothing allowance, we went up a small amount. Gas and diesel, we're going up because we have a new pickup and a dump truck, and fuel prices have been up and down, but we needed to go up on that a little bit also. Licenses have stayed the same, electricity stayed the same for a long time. Heat, that has stayed the same, that's item 437. Telephone has stayed the same. Repairs and maintenance. Here again, we now have a loader, a dump truck, a 1-ton. It isn't listed on here, but we have a Mini X and a pickup. And we've gone up by 3,000. That's just, and the reason we went up, we now have a loader, a Mini X, a dump truck, a 1-ton, and a pickup truck that all have electronics in it that we do not have the knowledge or the equipment to be testing things. So everything that's electronic in these machines and trucks, we have to send them out. We have to send the dump truck back to Peterbilt. We have to send the 1-ton to Weir's, the other truck to Arundel, and it gets expensive for repairs.
I asked this question of the fire department last week. I know that Scarborough does a lot of repairs for fire trucks and school buses outside of Scarborough. They do Wells, Cape Elizabeth, some South Portland that I know of.
Yeah.
Have we looked into having, just wondering if we have tried to find someplace cheaper, like Scarborough Public Works, that does the work on vehicles?
I have not.
Okay, just wondering.
Well, mainly because of, the mini excavator is only 3 years old, the new pickup is new, the 1-ton is 7 years old, but that's a diesel, and all the electronics in it, we're just better to go. Maybe that would be a good place to try, but Weir's is taking care of it. The new dump truck, we've been taking back to Peterbilt, that's only,
Well, that's still under warranty, I hope. I mean, it's brand new.
that's got a 5-year warranty,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense to go to Peterbilt.
Yeah, but they don't do, we don't do the oil changes on, the oil changes and the fuel filters on that new dump truck. Mr. Foglio doesn't even do his. He sends his into Peterbilt. There's something along in the fuel system that makes them, you have to have a tool to keep the fuel pressure up why you're changing the filters, and we don't have that. Doug Folkleo sends all of his Peterbilt back in there. And luckily, we've been very lucky with a mini excavator, that's a Takaluchi, and that has been flawless so far. Knock on wood on that. But I did increase the repairs on those things. Pit restoration, that stays the same.
Where is our pit?
Our pit is behind the transfer station,
Okay,
down in the bowels of the transfer station. We have maybe 7 acres left in our pit. We are presently looking for more material elsewhere, and hopefully that'll come through.
When you drive by the salt shed, Tom, if you just keep going with the salt shed on your left, just keep on that road. I don't know that it's even plowed now.
Oh, yes, we keep it well.
It is, okay, then you can drive right down into the pit down.
You can drive down in and you can see all the materials. One of the things that we had was crushing. If we haven't done that yet. Yeah, we did do the crushing.
no, line 449, crush our gravel in our pit.
Yeah,
So, okay,
yeah,
Crusher comes in and does,
yeah.
a lot of times they'll come in and do 2 years worth. They'll do it in late June so they can bill us for that, and they'll actually do the next year's as well. That's what they did this year.
yep.
Quite a pile down there. Pit restoration, actual work hasn't, a lot of that hasn't taken place yet because it's still an active pit, but over time, we're gonna have to replant some of that area down there.
I forget what the exact acreage is. We can have unreclaimed.
It's 5, isn't it?
Is it? I thought it was
I think
5,
so.
but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to use some of that money to start reclaiming. But the reclaiming will be used, we'll use in our pit right now, we have hundreds of yards of ditching material, and that's what we'll use for the reclaim. So that money will be used just to move it from the center of the pit and reclaim all the slope. And all of that material will be sloped at a
3 to 1 or?
yeah, I think it is a 3 to 1. I forget exactly what it is, and then we have to seed it, maintain it for a while, and then let it go natural.
When we go for our ride to John and Tom, and when we get to the back of the pit, you can actually, I think you can, in the down bottom of the pit, you can still see the wires out there.
Yeah,
We can't go much farther. We're gonna be 4 to 6 years more gravel
Yeah.
there maybe.
at the most,
We need to
yeah.
buy some more land.
Yeah.
Two Walker mowers, line 442, what do they do?
The 2 walker mowers do all of our lawn areas, which includes the Taylor House, the sports fields, cemetery. We have a small mower that we do this building with,
Which cemetery do we mow?
just the older ones. And we don't actually do all of that because there is a cemetery association that goes out and they do quite a bit of it. But we do help them on some of that, and we do of course, the Veterans Monument over here, that piece. I think that's it.
We've got another 6,000 in the tail end of the budget, a couple pages beyond for actual cemetery mowing and cleanup for a summertime, part-time person. So those Walker mowers don't mow many cemeteries. I don't know how many they do.
No, that's for the repairs, the 442 is repairs for those walk-on mowers.
Right, but you just said they mow cemeteries. Now,
Yep.
I don't want these folks to be
Oh,
thinking,
no, no.
they mow all 160 cemeteries we have.
No, they don't. They're used mainly on our sports fields and the monuments. And those places.
Town hall, fire station.
Yep, yep,
Goodville, not Goodville, Friendship Park.
yep. 443 is ground maintenance, and that's the loam and seed for Friendship Park, and routine mowing and raking of the same. .444 is equipment, we don't have anything in that. Radios, those are gonna be portables that we're gonna get for the public work. The new doors, we've already put an overhead door in the old salt shed, and something that I wasn't aware of, that they installed that door, and the guy was putting his tools away, and I said, "You're not gonna put the latch on?" He said, "I can't by law because you don't have an egress door out of that room." So we're gonna have to cut the wall in 2 places so that we have egress doors out of that building, and that's gonna be part of this money and completing that door. And more repairs to the building as well. Road maintenance, which is 447. We have brush clearing, cutting and mowing. We have roads and bridges, which would be the maintenance on the shoulders and doing some drainage. And we have ditch clean out, that's existing ditches. Some of the road and bridges, we use some of that money for new ditching. And we have $7,500 for coal patch. And that use probably will go down now that we've done the pavement on the old Alfred Road. We were putting thousands of dollars into that. Coal patch, by the way, is almost $100 a ton versus $60 a ton for hot top. But nobody puts hot top out in winter time, so coal patch is very expensive. And as you can see, the striping, the 20K on striping is a combination of center line and sidelines and the striping we do at the beach and at the intersection for stop lines. Catch basin clean out, that $3,000 really doesn't go very far, but we don't have, I think we have 19 or 20 catch basins is all we have to do. And most of them are not, we have some that are true catch basins, but most of those are what is called a dry basin. It's a basin that's 8 feet in diameter, and we dig a hole 4 feet bigger around the outside and put fabric and stone, and all the water goes into that basin and then just filters out all around it. It doesn't go to an outlet pipe someplace and into a stream or body of water. Crushing in our own gravel, 449. That's $40,000. It's been $40,000 for a very long time. Engineering is, we have them come in and we have them reassure us that we're not going beyond our limits. So we have to have it marked each year on how far we can go in excavating in the town pit. Then we come to item 451, which is plowing. And this number includes the sidewalk on West Road and the plowing and sanding of 65 miles of road in the town. One of the things that I'm interested in doing is in the CIP, This goes with that article because we are interested in picking up our own sidewalk blower. And we want it for, here again, this is going to be a double-edged sword because we also want to be able to use it now that we put a new roof on our central fire station. That metal roof discards all the snow off of it within a few days after a storm. And when that falls to the ground, if you do not remove it right away, you have to do what we did this morning, and that takes the mini excavator over with a cleanup bucket and remove the snow. So we're thinking that the money that we've been paying for that one sidewalk, if we use that money and bought a sidewalk blower machine of our own, we would have it to do that sidewalk and more sidewalk. As we repair and repave sidewalks, we're going to be clearing more of them. And plus it would be used at the central fire station to blow the snow away from the building as soon as it falls off the roof. And that's what you have to do for that.
And just as a piece of history, the plow contract we have now is for 3 years with 1-year extensions, I think.
Yeah.
But the guaranteed price was $500 per year from day one, no change. And that's the way that the contractor proposed it to us.
Yep. And in the past, there's been a percentage increase.
No increase, I mean, sorry, yes.
Yep, and he didn't ask for any increase.
He got it in his first year and didn't get it in his third year, so.
Yep. Toilet rental. That's, oh, what happened here? I didn't put anything on toilet rental.
She must have missed that, because
Yeah, I don't think we got that far. I think we stopped that day.
well,
It would be the same, we may have to increase it a little bit, because I'm sure that their prices are gonna go up, so it may go from, well, how come we didn't have it last year here? Oh, we did have it last year.
we did, we had 2,000, yeah.
Yeah. We keep, and those toilets are the ones that are down at the public beach, the ones at Friendship Park, and we keep one inside of our salt sand shed for the plow drivers so that we don't have videos on our cameras that are undesirable.
So what
And
number
the
should,
one that's in the salt shed in the summertime, we take it, if we have a project on the road, we pick it up with our forks and move it to the project so that we're covered for the people that are on the project. So.
what number should be in there?
Pardon?
What number should be in there?
Well, we've had 2,000 and we've been pretty good with that number, and that's probably what we'll continue with. That's worked so far, so.
David, we've got some time. I don't want to dive into all things CIP, but there's one issue that you could probably help, and that is to talk about the water main from the elementary school
Oh,
to
yeah.
Central Fire Station.
Yeah.
If you folks go over to page 18, the top item on row 501, the top of page 18, we've been thinking about this ever since the water line was proposed to go to the elementary school. About 900 feet, as I recall.
It's 1,150 feet.
It got farther.
Well, that's to get it to the building. You're
Oh, okay.
you're right. It's a little over 900 to get it from where they stopped, or where we stopped, because I'm part of the water district also, and we stopped, you'll see a hydrant in front of the entrance to the elementary school. The main is 30 feet beyond that hydrant on Route 5. And we'll go from there to the center line of the property of the central fire station. And so we'll come through the woods, and in reality, it should come through the woods because the 6-inch piece of pipe that was put in the foundation of the central fire station the year that it was built is right there in the center of the building, so we will come through the woods to that. We will probably put a hydrant in that location. We'll probably put the hydrant before we make the turn into the property. And then the pipe will be 30 feet beyond where we stop. That price, I think will cover it. I hope it will. It's something we need. The well at the fire station it's usable. It's, I think it has a high iron content. And it's like most of the water in that area, it does have high iron. Magnesium isn't too high, but it's still, it's something that we need to do. We need a hydrant at that station, number one. And we need a better water supply and better water.
Yeah, we can't fill a truck. They heard that from the chief last week.
Yep.
So.
Yep. The south station is hooked on to the water main in South Waterboro on Pearl Street, and they can fill trucks with a 2-inch line. They have just a 2-inch line into that building. Into the new station, we'll put a 6-inch line into that. I believe that's what's under the, I think that's what's inside there now. The building is all pipe for it. Been there since the building was built.
Is it a 12 that's next to Route 5?
Yeah, the street line is a 12-inch.
Yep.
And they'll tee off and more than likely come in with a 6 or 8-inch line to a certain point, and then change it over to what's right there. Very important, it really is. That is, it's something that I think we had it planned 2 years in a row, didn't we, and took it out?
Yeah, it went in 3 years ago, didn't it?
Yeah.
To the school?
Yeah, it was, I thought we were gonna bring it up when the school did their part. And that would have been, and I'm not criticizing the choice of not doing it, but that would have been the time to do it because they had a killer price. I mean, the company that did that was doing it very, very cheap. And we should have gone further.
And there was grant money that would have been able to do it, but if we'd added and changed the job description, we would have had to go back and reapply. There's no time to do that with the federal government, so that's why it didn't happen. I don't know that we want to.
Who's going to do the actual, I mean, can we do the land clearing, the trees, the stumps, all that? Is that something we can do?
We pretty much did it already.
Okay, I haven't looked over there for a while.
Not many trees left out there.
Yeah,
Well, the far side of, the other side of the fire station, I know is completely bare.
Yeah, and we did that for a reason. We originally had taken just the pine, but then we started looking at it and we determined that it would be an ideal place for us to dump excavation from the trenching, the ditching we were doing up this way. And we pretty much filled that area back in. And so now, once we finish it off, it will be all grass. There won't be any tree danger falling on the building. The side, on Route 5 side, we decided to leave all the hardwood trees. And I might add that all of those trees were removed for, we had a gentleman that did the logging, day logging, that the town had done him a favor a few years ago and let him do a strip of land off the Roberts Ridge Road, and he used an easement through the town pit, and so he was able to work all winter long and do that job. And so when I asked him to come up and give me a price for cutting those trees, he said, day logging will do this for free for what the town of Waterboro did for me on this other job. So
What was the other price quote that we got?
$6,000. I had someone else look at it and they said $6,000. So it was a good deal. There was a lot of pine in there that had been fire damaged in 47, and all the big trees near the Old Alfred Road side of the fire station, most of them were cracked and were dead, and we're worried about the pines, we took them down. We had a good chance to do it for cheap money, so we did it. And the Historical Society agreed to let us do their side of the road, which has made that side better looking and safer for their buildings, and it was good.
There's one other item on here, folks, that we could spend a few minutes with David. I think that's row 512 on page 18, sidewalks.
Yep.
We have over 2 miles of sidewalks on both sides of the road in South Waterboro. About 2.5 when you include the 0.4 of a mile that goes out to the high school. If you've ever walked on those asphalt sidewalks along 202, you know they're awful. They're rooty, they're not level at all. You couldn't go out there with a wheelchair and do that safely. So we've talked for, gosh, every year since I've been here, which is 5.5 now, and there has not been the desire to start putting money into even repairing those. We've had requests for new sidewalks elsewhere, but I think it's a valid, if we're gonna do new ones, then I think we ought to start putting money in there. And last year we had, Julie, do you remember, we had either 25 or 50, I think.
I asked for 25,000,
Yeah, and
just to get started.
that didn't survive the priorities of the fire station roof and other things, so.
That's why I haven't put a number there. I'm not going to put a number. If you fellows think, or if the rest of us decide that we don't think it's gonna go anyways, then we'll leave it out again. But those sidewalks, 2/3 of them, if not more, have never been repaired as long as I remember, and I've lived in Waterboro for way more years than anybody else here, I think. They've just never been repaired. They were probably 4 or 5 foot wide sidewalks that are now 3 feet, and they're cracked, they're broken, they're not safe for elderly people to walk, and a lot of them do walk to go to the post office, to Plumbers, to all different places down through there. So I think it's time. I think that we should start at Plumber's store and start working northeast and try to repair as much as we can a year at a time. And here again, that's where the sidewalk machine is going to come in, because the second that they're good enough to walk on, I think they need to be snowboard.
Absolutely.
I think it's only
Absolutely.
the wise thing to do.
We've also had complaints from residents near Hannaford of that perfectly good sidewalk that goes between Hannaford and Subway, that's never cleared of snow.
You know, when it stops, when you get to the property, if this were Dunkin' Donuts and this is Route 5, when you get to that property line on the Hannaford side, the sidewalk stops. It does not go all the way to Hannaford's entrance.
And we should do a better job in the future developments down there. When they're at the planning board level, have the developer, mandate that part of their approval is a new sidewalk. People want to walk. We had a conversation last year with one of the budget committee members to put a sidewalk on New Dam Road in Lake Arrowhead, which would be used all day long. And it's a good idea, but we haven't taken care of the ones we have now. We could take the old ones out with our equipment and smooth it up and just have the paving contract. They don't have to be concrete. It could be, but that's more money. And a paved sidewalk in there would be far superior to what we have. So just know that that's been taken out every year since they have been here, and that's 5 years. So not survived the budget priorities. Other questions or concerns of David? We've got 30 minutes or a little less than that, which is wonderful. We can end the meeting, or we could go to page 1 and do some other sections, but I want you to be done with David in your own mind first.
Can we ask questions?
Yeah.
We can ask questions? Okay. On the travel in 424, roughly how much are you using your private vehicle as compared to the town vehicle?
424.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what the number is so far, but since I've taken this job on, this is going to the second year of full-time.
Yep.
And I had it for 6 months before that. I have used my own vehicle and was reimbursed the set rate by the town. I don't remember exactly how much it is.
I'm not asking amount, I'm roughly how much are you spending in your vehicle as compared? Since
Right
you've got
now,
the
this
new
winter,
vehicle.
I've been using the town truck at all times
Okay.
because it has a sander in it.
Mhm.
We purchased a small sander to put in it so that I could go out. If the fire department needs sand in the middle of the night, then either myself or Tommy Blackburn goes with his truck. We don't wait for the contractor to get a truck up here. We can go and sand or plow
Okay,
with either one of those trucks right now.
okay, that's good.
And to your point, Diane, now that while he's running this truck, if he uses his personal vehicle, we'll pay him, but he's gonna start keeping mileage.
So are you paying mileage, and so does that, is cover mileage, insurance, wear and tear on his vehicle, his private vehicle?
Mileage only.
Yes.
Just
Well, no, I don't get paid for wear and tear, no.
No.
It's just mileage. It's
just
like-
straight mileage? Okay. Okay. And when you talk about up topping all these roads, and I know some of them are quite heavily traveled,
Yeah,
I guess we have asked some of the people on our road over the last 4 years or so about paving our road, Colby Drive. And we're always told we don't have any money for it. But is that going to sometime be, we've lived there 28 years and have not had anything done to it at all. And it's breaking up from the plow. We have a culvert that's all squashed in front of our mailbox. One of the pavers that did a driveway across 202 damaged all that, and it's never been repaired. So we're concerned that we need some TLC on our road.
yep, the culvert we're gonna replace.
We're gonna replace that
Yep.
one.
Yep, and the
Okay.
pavement, I didn't have anything in there this year,
Mhm.
but,
I know it had been brought up, I think, in one of the selectmen meetings. I have heard you talk about Colby Drive
Yep.
as an overlay. Now, when you say an overlay, are you saying 2 inches, 1 inch, a shim
there
coat,
are
or?
two different overlays. It can be 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches.
Okay,
And probably with the condition of the edges down there, it would have to be the 1.5.
okay. So are you talking 1.5 on all of these roads for next year?
Yes,
You are?
yeah.
Well, let's not discount the shim that DOT uses.
Pardon?
The shim that DOT uses.
No, the shim that they use is 3/4 of an inch or 7/8 of an inch,
Yeah, it doesn't.
and they compress it to 1/2 an inch.
Mhm.
Which is what peeled up on Old Alfred Road and the Bedford Road 111 years ago. Remember how that came up?
Yeah, and even Route 5 right
miles.
now, you've got sometimes, some of those puddles are 3
3 layers deep.
layers deep,
Yeah.
so you hit that, you're gonna know it.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll be out there.
Did you know that they're going to, was it from Hannaford to, do you remember what that notice said from?
Oh, the work plan? I don't remember. It's in
It's
my,
Hannaford either to this intersection out here, or I'm not sure. I thought it was gonna go all the way to Dollar General, but that may have changed.
it should.
Yeah, yeah. And they're talking about 4-foot shoulder, paved shoulder.
Well, that would be great.
Paving the lake.
Yeah,
Have a couple more.
I don't think they were gonna include them. Was there anything else? then?
Yeah, I've been making notes. Okay, when you're talking about your ground maintenance, does that include the Lions Club field also?
Say that again?
Does that include the Lions Club field?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, we mow that.
Okay, because we've seen maybe 3 or 4 times during the course of the summer. Is that a general maintenance for that, or should it be done more?
You know, we go by how much the grass grows, and last year, I think he mowed it, it was 4 times last year, I
Yeah,
think.
roughly. Yeah,
Yeah.
the fencing needs to be replaced down there too.
The fence,
Yeah, it's kind of leaning backwards, so that kind of needs to be replaced. And some of those metal buildings that are down there,
those need to go away.
they blow in the wind, we're just waiting for the.
You know, those don't belong to us, that's the problem.
Who do they belong to?
The Lions
Softball?
Club,
Oh, they do?
yeah.
Oh. So that would include, your porta potty is also included?
Yes,
Correct.
that's also part of, this year, we are telling Todd and Lisa and I have talked it over, and the adult league is being told that, that trash can is no longer gonna be a returnable can.
Mhm.
And, that if they don't adhere to some of the regulations that their league has put out, that we may stop letting them use the field.
So are they paying for the electricity? Because there's been
They
many,
pay
many
us
nights that
for
the
the
lights
use
have
of
been
that
left
field.
on.
Yeah,
They've been left on.
yeah.
And I know you.
All
talked
night?
about- Yep. They're still
Well,
on in the
no,
morning.
they're not supposed to. How many times did that happen last year? 3
Like
times?
3 or 4 or 5 times.
Supposed to go off at 10, aren't they?
Because
Automatically.
they forget to turn them off.
No, they're on all night, a lot of times. Sometimes.
They're not on a timer type device?
No, they are, they have to manually turn them off.
Maybe they should be
and,
on a timer. 10 o'clock, done.
Yeah. Yeah, but they hang around later.
Yeah, I know they do.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, we hear them.
I know it too, and we tell them at the beginning of the year, I had just had a meeting with the Little League people, and they're not a problem. The adult people, I haven't been involved in that yet, but this year I'm going to try to.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
way better than it used to be when we first moved in, and they were there till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah, before.
hollering and
yeah.
screaming and everything else. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
horrid. We used to have to call
But
the
see,
sheriff.
the leagues have rules now that they're not supposed to do those things. They are, and somebody has got to enforce it, and
I don't like to be the overseer of.
no, we are gonna have to, because we can, the money they give us is not worth the neighbors and other people having to tolerate that.
Mhm,
So we're gonna let them know this year that that's gonna change, or
mhm.
we're gonna stop it. And we can stop the league and give them their money back.
They're playing, the games don't bother us. It's just when they're there till 11, 12 o'clock at night, they're hollering, screaming, and they're drinking, they're drunk.
You know, they're not
They-
supposed to
they,
drink.
Squealer tires going out of there, everything. So it's a playground down there. So, I think that's the only thing left. Oh, when you mentioned maintenance on your mowers, do you have 1 rider, 2 riders, no riders?
We have, the walkers are all riders, they're big, they're 60-inch mower.
Oh, so you're considering the walkers riders?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Walker is the brand name.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a push. I know they don't push them.
Walker is the brand name.
Because I know they don't push them.
And, yeah,
Okay. So as far as the snow plowing contract, that's 500,000 a year for 3 years?
500,000.
500,000
500,000 each year. for
each
this
year, okay. So were they fronted money this year to buy equipment?
No, they
To do our
have
town?
most of the equipment.
They did? Okay.
They have a program where they're paid once a month, correct, Julie?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're paid probably, what, a third of that
Yes.
by now?
Yep.
And
And then at the
We're
end of
almost
the year,
half
they
right
get
now.
a live sum paid on.
They did, okay.
Yep,
So every salt and everything comes right from us?
yeah.
They don't
We
buy any of
supply
that,
the
we
salt,
supply all that?
and they do the delivery of it.
Okay,
they have a loader in the salt shed that they use to load the machines,
okay,
part of the contract. If
okay.
we didn't have that, if we had to split the town up into thirds, we would probably have to lease or buy a big loader
Yeah.
to load those plow trucks.
Okay.
And I will add, they were the only bidder that we had.
That's sad.
Well, you stop and think of 65 miles of road, they're required to have 5 trucks on the road plus 2 pickups. And
So do you call them out for a storm, or are they,
it's a combination. If I'm out and about and I haven't seen them, then I'll give Paul a call, but he comes out also. We work together on it.
okay,
I will tell you that it was something that I never had to do when polio were on it,
we got
but,
spoiled.
and I will say it again, they did it for 40-some years to get it as good as what they did, so.
They spoiled us terribly.
I think that Paul will do a good job, he's improving. I think it will be good, I
Okay.
really do. This man wants to plow snow for a living, and that's all he wants to do.
Okay.
So
And just for, go
It's not
ahead.
the time or place.
he's very dedicated, he really
Okay,
is.
I'm not gonna go into,
No, I will,
all
because
right,
you were nice enough to call.
yeah.
Is that 2 storms ago or 1 storm ago?
I have pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and she leaves the home at 5 o'clock to drive a bus, and then she was on the phone with me at 10 o'clock, and that was the first run of the plow. And Mr. Ben has made it abundantly clear to our contractor that that's not to happen, and they're not to leave the development roads unplowed for the duration of a storm, which they do in Lyman and Dayton.
yes, Lyman, they're allowed to do
So
that.
he's been very clearly told that's not a good thing to do in Waterboro. We do not accept that, so. Diane's
You
gonna-
came in and plowed the road last storm for us, and then the contractor came around just after you had
Yeah.
been there, not maybe
Yeah.
10 minutes after. I guess my concern is because one of our neighbors had a hard time getting out. We abut 202. So when they plow, we have quite a snowbank. And we have to try and get up a little incline to try and get out of our road. And if you're icy and your tires are skidding behind you, you're not moving, and that traffic on 202 is ridiculous.
Crazy is what it is. It is.
We wait 5-10 minutes sometimes, wait to pull up.
Yeah.
So, but, so that's my concern, but this was not the time or the place I didn't think Gary to bring.
Well, I don't mind. I mean, you've got 2 new budget committee members here. They need to know what's working and what isn't, so I don't have a problem with
We
that.
gave him the first couple of storms, and then, one storm, the pickup guy that came in after the plow guy came in, he said he didn't get called till 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So that leaves us stuck in,
I
you
think
know?
that was before
We-
Paul and I sat down and had a big heart-to-heart about development being second to the being.
Well, it's just, emergency vehicles also, fire,
Yep,
rescue.
yep.
We've had a
Well,
gentleman
that's
that's
what
had
I
a heart
explained
attack
to
on the road. We're the oldest ones on our road.
But that heart-to-heart talk didn't happen until you and I spoke last.
Oh, it
It
did?
happened, I think, that same
Okay,
day.
because I have
Or the day
pictures of
before.
how he's been plowing.
I know,
our road.
I know.
So,
Told you, I don't need to see him, I believe you.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't.
I'm seeing improvement, because my wife is the one who gives me the temperature of the plowing job.
Yeah.
And she would probably agree with you wholeheartedly. I gotta go out anyway, so I pretty much am blind to it. I go. But he's gotten better on Star Hill Road. He was very narrow at first, and the timing wasn't very good. But he's gotten better. So I see improvement, but I tend to be a little more patient about it all. So my wife
And I
is,
guess another concern is we have people on our road that come in and out all hours of the night because of their jobs.
Mhm.
And if the road is not taken care of even during the middle of the night, these people aren't going to get in past the 202 snowbank unless, hopefully they don't damage the vehicle sometimes if the snowbank is too high.
Well, let's hope that that gets better after David's chat with them recently, but you keep us posted. so.
I don't want to be tough.
I keep in touch with them, I'm out just about all the time that they are, and Paul and I talk a great deal, and,
Why did they think that was okay, David, not to do the side road and just,
it was habit, because the town of Lyman allowed him to do it, and he plows the town of Lyman, and so he just did it out of habit, and,
so do we have a dedicated crew for Waterboro?
oh, yeah, yeah. It was just a mindset, that's all. And, it's going to take a few more storms to get it down to a science. And it's gonna take the full 3 years to get it really good, so. But he's doing, I think his end product is very good. But it's just his timing is off a little bit, and we're working on that. Yep.
All right, some people are gonna start, I don't know that we ought to tackle general government here, I don't wanna do that too quickly. One thing I would say is a couple things, if you go on page 1 of the budget, Julie, by the end of this week, she was pretty busy last week, by the end of this week, she's gonna crunch some numbers, verify the retirement lines, so I can have those in here, and on page 3, the health insurance line, in the middle of page 3, row 62. Look at what we spent this past year, because all of those numbers in the red ink on line 62 for health insurance related things are going to change. So I would, right now we've got about 75% of the department heads and the town administrators' columns are filled in. And I hope to meet by the end of this week with David and Clint for the transfer station. And I would think that on the 24th, which is our next meeting, unless you folks change it, we would have recreation in the library that evening, and there'd probably be some time left over since steering committee's not meeting that night, and we could go and then knock off a few other sections here as well. I'd like to be done a lot earlier this year, so you folks can have some more time with the selectmen for workshops. The two groups, they can actually have more conversations than we've had in the past, which I think is very helpful, especially for new folks on the budget committee. Get the bigger picture. You really can't see that until we get a total on this, which is why I'd like to have that total done by, I don't know, mid-February would be nice. Any other questions? If not, we can take a bathroom break, and then pretty soon the steering committee will be waltzing in here and getting ready for their meetings.
Somebody's already out in the lobby.
Okay. Any questions of Julie or myself? Do we agree that our next meeting will be next Thursday at 4:30?
Yes.
Okay. Good. We're adjourned at 6:47?
Exactly where is Colby? I'm trying to, I know it's off 202, I'm just trying to figure out, from the Eagles Club or the
If you're coming
Rogers,
from the Milford,
okay,
the Lions Club is on the Lions Club side,
okay.
4 houses and then our road.
You know what the Hamilton Road is?
It's kind of diagonal from
Okay.
Hamilton Road.
Where you
Okay.
come
I got it,
out of
yeah.
town,